All right, boys and girls, we are going to try this again. This is now my third time recording this lesson. Hopefully, I've emptied my computer out enough to where I can not lose this data again. All right, so for CNN10 today, I'm going to post a video and you are going to watch through the entire thing. However, we are going to be doing things a little bit different. You are going to pick one of the news stories, just one, not the 3 or 4 that there normally is, just one, and you're going to write me a summary. Now, I am going to request that you do not do a summary on that last little, it's usually like right about here, that last little story that they do, you know, the silly ones where we watch the one where the dogs got married, and at the end of this one, there's like a groundhog eating pizza, just because you're not going to be able to get a full summary. So when we write out our summary, we are looking for what the story is about, who is involved, where it takes place, and how it's taking place. So we're going to watch this clip. This is about a team called Worldview that is coming up with a trip to the stratosphere. So they are sticking human beings into capsules and launching the capsules into the stratosphere by balloon. So we're going to watch together. I suggest, and actually I take suggest back, I require you to take notes on the side. Just get a piece of scrap paper, whatever you want. You can pull up a document and keep it half on the screen, like right over here. Just to jot down so that you don't have to keep going back and re-watching the same video over and over again. So let's get started.
Mesosphere or stratosphere? Of these options, no layer is higher than the thermosphere, where the temperature gets hotter the higher you go. The stratosphere extends from about 6 to 30 miles over our heads. And that's where a company called Worldview wants to take people in a capsule attached to a balloon.
All right, so did you catch the company name? The company name is Worldview. So that is part of the who. The what is that they want to come up with a capsule that takes people into the stratosphere by using a balloon.
If they can afford it. Here's what the Worldview would look like if and when these trips get off the ground.
I think it would be a tremendous shame to live my entire life on a planet I've never really seen. I think that sort of changes how you view life and really gives you a better appreciation.
We're working to make...
Okay, so if you'll see, let's see, can I use one of these? Right here is my location. So I have Tucson, Arizona. That is where. So it's taking place in Tucson, Arizona. So now I think I can erase this, right? Yay. Okay.
Space is accessible as a commercial airline flight. We have people from all around the world who bought tickets to fly in the Worldview capsule. Our tickets right now are $75,000 a seat. The oldest person is in their 80s.
All right, so let's rewind that again, 10
People
seconds.
from all around the world have bought tickets to fly in the Worldview capsule. Our tickets right now are $75,000 a seat. The oldest...
All right, did you hear that? Their tickets are $75,000 a seat. And that was by Jane Pointner. She is the CEO of Worldview. I am going to include her name in the summary, so let's keep watching.
Person is in their 80s.
Air Force balloonist Captain Joseph Kittinger Jr. is laced into an elaborate pressure suit in preparation for a daring ascent into the stratosphere.
So this is just talking about how this strategy started in the 50s with Joseph Kittinger, and they used to see if they could send him back into Earth by using a balloon. Because, let's clarify, in the 50s, there weren't rockets yet, so.
The idea for balloons in manned space goes all the way back to Kittinger in the 50s. Before the age of rockets and the great space race, we were using high-altitude balloons to take people to the edge of space. And so it's this really old idea that's laid dormant really for the last 60 years, and it seemed it was time to bring it back.
Okay, so this says Kittinger rose nearly 19.5 miles and jumped back to Earth at a speed of 614 miles per hour.
As we began to develop that project, the StratX program came along.
Now, this I am going to include just because it kind of supports the idea that Worldview is doing. So in 2014, the Stratix program used former Google executive Alan Eustace to set a new world record by jumping from an altitude of 25.7 miles.
The team really gelled around taking Alan Eustace to the edge of space and having him jump from the edge of space down very quickly. The team and that technology essentially formed the basis of Worldview.
The balloon that takes the capsule up is about the size of a football stadium.
So from that last 10 seconds, we learned that the balloon is made out of a plastic composite and that it's the size of a football stadium.
Imagine looking out the window when it's completely dark out and there's an incredible starscape outside, like really nobody has seen except the astronauts. And you'll see the sun start lighting up the planet below you. You'll see the curvature of the Earth, but the sky will still be black. It's going to be the most extraordinary sight.
When it's time to come back, we open up a big parafoil that is 3,200 square feet, the largest parafoil that's ever been operated. This parafoil, for example, is about 1,200 square feet, so it'd be about 3 times bigger than this one. The balloon itself falls essentially in a big ball of plastic towards the Earth, but then a team goes out and collects the balloon, and it gets turned into plastic bottles.
We really feel that taking people up in this way is going to really open the door to a space experience.
Okay, so I'm just going to stop right there for the sake of the length of this video and move over to the summary. So the first thing you want to do when you're getting ready to write the summary of your story, and remember, I'm just going to remind you one more time, you are picking one of the stories on your CNN10, not all of them, just one. We are starting small. And you want to come up with a headline for it or a title for it. So I chose to make this Take a Trip to the Stratosphere because that's what the entire story is about. Did you know that the stratosphere extends about 6 to 30 miles over our heads? Did you know that you might be able to take a trip there someday in the near future? Currently, a company called Worldview, so there's our who, located in Tucson, Arizona, there's our where, is working on a balloon trip to the stratosphere. That is our what. The balloon itself is made out of plastic, and it is as big as a football field, and it will be carrying a capsule that is full of people ready to take the plunge. That is how they're going to make this happen. So I told you I'm going to use the CEO's name because she's the one that gave us the price of the ticket. So Jane Pointner, the CEO of Worldview, informs us that right now tickets are priced at $75,000 per seat. This idea of sending people into the atmosphere with balloons goes back to the 50s and then eventually resurfaced in 2014, where they sent Alan Eustace to the edge of the Earth to float back with a balloon. Don't worry, once your balloon lands, it will be recycled into plastic water bottles instead of going to waste. So I don't suggest, but I could have stopped right there, but I think that that's a very abrupt way to stop this summary. So I wanted to close the summary up. I wanted a conclusion sentence that just kind of said, don't worry, this balloon isn't going to waste because it is entirely made out of plastic, and that's obviously one of our big concerns right now. So I decided to include that once your balloon lands, it will be recycled into plastic water in plastic water bottles instead of going to waste. So today you are going to watch the CNN10 video that I have posted underneath this video of Screencastify. And then you are going to type up your summary. Now, your summary should be anywhere between 5 to 7 sentences. When you are done, remember when things are posted through Google Classroom, so here's the share button. There's going to be that turn in button right here. Make sure you hit that turn in button so that I know you are completed. Okay, so that's the end of this lesson. Again, let me know if you have any questions.